Hello there, race fans, and welcome to the 97th high-octane episode of the Retrotopia podcast. I'm your host for this week, Alan, and today we are talking about the SNES classic racing game F-Zero. If this is your first episode of Retrotopia, then welcome. Thanks for stopping by and giving us a listen. But if you just want to get to the game chat, I recommend maybe just hitting the old turbo boost there and pulling it to first place somewhere about 25 minutes down the road, and you should get into our conversation about F-Zero. That being said, I recommend you stick around because, you know, this is less an intro, more an integral part of the show. We've got some plugs to get through, we've got questions and comments from our delightful Patreons, and we've also got Choose One, Lose One, our Retrotopia game show. So stick around, you might find something you like. Plugs. Let's get the plugs out of the way. We have social medias of every flavour and description possible. You can find all of those at linktree/retrotopia. That's linktr.ee/retrotopia, where you can find not only our socials, but also our TeePublic or Dashery page. I can never remember which one's which, but you can come and check out all of our delightful Retrotopia merch there and, deck yourself out and be the talk of the town in some of our fantastic designs. You can also find our Discord, which we do encourage you to come and join. It's free to join, of course, and you can come and chat with some like-minded individuals and, interact with the hosts of the show and, talk games, movies, books. God, all sorts goes on over there. It is a really genuinely good time. And you can also find our Patreon over there. You can join our free tier of Patreon for the, as it sounds, the low price of free. And you can listen to some of our extra bonus shows like Retro Bites, roughly 15 days early, although we've been working on the format of that show, so there might be some minor teething problems, but we're doing our best, damn it. You can listen to our, the other one, Quick Play, that's the one, our Quick Play mini review show. God, I'm doing well today, aren't I? You can listen to Quick Play, our mini review show every 2 weeks, where either Sam, Brian, or I will pick a smaller game and review it for the show, a little bite-sized chunk of gaming excellence to get you through your fortnight. And you can also send in questions, comments, vote in polls, all of that good stuff. We do also have a paid tier for just $2. You get all of the above, as well as access to our periodical bonus show, New Game Plus, where we talk about a relatively new game that one of us has been playing recently that doesn't really fit with the theme of a retro-inspired podcast. And you also get the chance to choose a quick play and throw it at the host of your choice and get them to review it for you, be it for better or worse. Of course, something that is available for Patreons of any tier is the ability to write in every episode and have your say on the 9-bit banter box, which is just about the most culturally elegant thing I myself have ever seen. Alrighty then, let's see what some of you guys had to say this week on the 9-bit banter box. First up, we've got Nintendo's before hoes. Always Nintendo's before hoes. And Hose says, if F1 is Formula 1 racing, what the fuck is an F-Zero? It's one less than F1 Formula 1 racing. God, where have you been? Come on, play the game. No, I can only assume that F-Zero, it's basically, so, if F1 is normal Formula 1 racing, F-Zero is what would happen if everything was at zero mass, and as you well know from your physics classes, that anything that has zero mass has to travel at the speed of light, so that's why this game is just so damn fast. That's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. Chris Kaplane says, Chris, you've got a question here. Is fish and chips overrated? What's the best way to enjoy it? Oh, sit ye down, my fellow Retrotopians, and let me tell you a thing or two. No, fish and chips is not overrated. Fish and chips is a national treasure. The problem with fish and chips is that there is a wide spectrum of quality available when it comes to fish and chips. I would always recommend that the best fish and chips are available down by the coast. Anywhere in particular? I mean, I myself am quite partial to the fish and chips down in Whitstable, which is a place that we quite often frequent, and I've had my probably well over my body weight in fish and chips over time. There are many ways to enjoy it. Some people like it with mushy peas, some people like it with tartar sauce and stuff like that. I'm a bit of a traditionalist, you know. I like a massive lump of cod, all covered in batter, nice crispy batter, but a good cod to batter ratio is essential. And more importantly than that, the entire meal hinges on the quality of the chips. If the chips are bad, you might as well just throw the whole thing out. And a good fish and chip shop chip should be quite soft and light and fluffy. You know, a good, not necessarily overly crunchy. Some of the chips need to be crunchy, some of them not so much. And absolutely slather them in salt and vinegar, and just keep it coming as much as you can possibly fit in whatever newspaper you're using to wrap it up with. Absolutely. I haven't had a good fish and chips in a long time. I'm going to need to rectify that very soon. Fridays are fish and chip days, so maybe this Friday I'll have to have a look into that. Thank you very much. Now I'm hungry. The Big Deal says, question for the 9-bit banter box. Well, you're in the right place. What is the ideal listening speed for podcasts? I find that 1.2 times is ideal for everything I listen to on Spotify, and it is the ideal speed to listen to RoboGang Johnny during the 9-bit banter box. Yeah, fair comment. If you are listening at normal speed, switch it over now and give it a try. You won't want to hear this theme any other way again. I'm gonna have to give that a try. Big Deal. I haven't. I mean, I struggle with listening to podcasts, and I do listen to several podcasts. I struggle to listen to them on anything other than just normal speed, because I struggle with my attention span as it is, and I think anything other than normal, I would find myself far too easily distracted. But that being said, maybe I'll give it a go sometime and see if there's anything to what you say. I would like to listen to that tune at 1.2 times, so maybe I'll do just that. Dylan Jacobson says, now that I know you're a big Alice in Chains fan, have you listened to Mad Season? I am a huge Alice in Chains fan. I absolutely fucking adore that band, and will listen to them on the regular. That being said, I am aware of Mad Season. I think that's the supergroup that Lane Staley was a part of, and I have been meaning to check them out for the longest time, and I haven't yet, and I'm very grateful for you for reminding me of that, because I had forgotten it was a thing. So now I'm going to make a point of actually listening. I don't know how much, did they only have the one album? I'm not sure, I'll have to look it up, but no, I have not listened to it, and yes, I will rectify that at earliest opportunity. Hooli, the Holy Heretic, says, Alan, I heard about some British slang and I want to know if you use it. Do you ever say taking a slash instead of taking a piss, or have you heard of it at least? Hooli, I've not only heard of that phrase, I use it incredibly commonly. In fact, I probably say that more than any alternative. It is very commonly said over here in the UK, taking a slash. I hardly say taking a piss. Yeah, we use it a lot. Gonna go take a slash. I'm just gonna popping off for a slash. Yeah, incredibly common. So don't worry, you've not been led wrong. That is genuinely a thing. Super Jess says, Alan, give me your best American. Oh, okay, hang on. He wants me to give me a best. Alan, give me your best American accent. Imitate it nice and clear into the mic. Curious to hear if you think we're all Hicks or all Canadians. There you go. I gave it a go. I don't know what it is about. I don't know if that's insulting or it's just, I don't know. I just always seem, whenever I'm doing an American accent, no matter what it is I try and do, I always just seem to go towards that sort of, I don't know if it's Texan or, you know, that southern sort of, you know, the kind of Red Dead Redemption style drawl there, and I kind of sound like a cowboy or something. And I don't know why. It just, even if I try and do a completely different American accent, it always just ends up having a bit of that twang. You know what I mean? Just a little bit of that not quite trailer trash, but you know, it kind of just goes there, and I'm not even sure why. But there you go. I hope that answers your question, Super Jess. Alrighty, let's move on now. Blue Yoshi says, Alan, what is your favourite video game character that wears a top hat? Mad Moxie from the Borderlands series. I don't know, you know what? I actually looked into this, and I can't. Well, I briefly looked into this. I can think of many characters that have top hats on. At least in games that I've played. I mean, obviously, Professor Layton is a contender, but I'm a huge Borderlands fan. I can't wait to play Borderlands 4, and Moxie is in it, and she has a top hat on, so I'm going to give the nod to Moxie, everyone's favourite bartender. And, excuse me, what's next? Shane's World, Party Time, excellent. Says, bad game you love. Mine has to be WCW Mayhem. I've not played WCW Mayhem. I'd like to give it a go. I'm a big fan of wrestling, as you all know. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. It's Sonic 06. That game is awful. It has almost zero redeeming features, but I love it. Not just because it's Sonic, but I genuinely do enjoy the story of that game. For all the jank and the loading time. Oh my god, the loading times. It's objectively, it is not a good game, and yet I love it. That being said, I've not played it in a few years. I would like to get around to it again at some point, and I've been kicking around the idea of actually doing something like a quick play on it, something like that, just to give it a sort of up-to-date review, just to see if my opinion still holds true. But yeah, Sonic 06, sue me. And finally, Sharkbite says, do you have a favourite accent or dialect? If so, which is it and why? Oh my god, you know, this is a tough question because I love accents and dialect. I'm absolutely fascinated by the way that people talk. There are so many good accents out there, it's really hard to pick. I'm a big fan of things like the Scottish accent, the Welsh accent. Those are up there as some of my favourites. What else have we got? I mean, I'm biased. The Italian accent is, that's because so many of my family have it. So that always just kind of feels like home for me. Australia, that's got a great accent. I don't know what it is. I mean, an Australian could give me the worst news ever. And I think I would just like take it happily because they just sound so fucking friendly when they talk. I don't know. It's just... Maybe it's that whole Steve Irwin thing. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know, just to name a few. I don't think I could pick a favourite. Lame answer, I know, but there are just so many great accents out there, and I just love listening to the way that people talk. And, you know, trying to imitate them badly, which is the only way I know how to do them. Alright, brilliant stuff. Thanks everyone for writing in as always. That was a fun one this week. Let's keep the ball rolling and move on to our next section. That's right, it's time for another installment of Choose One, Lose One, the Retrotopia game show where you pick a power from the game of the week and we ruin your lives. Ladies and gentlemen, come on down and welcome to Choose One, Lose One, a Retrotopia game show. Try your hand and pick your power from the game of the week, but beware, because every rose has its thorn, every high has its low, and every power has its consequence. So come, roll the dice if you dare. Aim for the stars and watch out for the sting in the tail. First up on Choose One, Lose One is Chris Kaplane, who says, I want the ability to get launched in my vehicle at 800 kilometers per hour, have it burst into a fiery crash and not only survive, but be able to get back into an exact replica and drive around just like I had been 5 seconds ago. Chris, done. You can now do all of those things that you just said, except now that is your life now. An endless stream of fiery deaths and reincarnation for a race that never ends. You're stuck in a loop, my friend. Enjoy. Next up, we've got supercalifragilistic... Fuck, I was so convinced I was going to get that. Hold on. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Close enough. He says, I want my car to hover so I won't get flat tires anymore. Okie dokie, your car always hovers, except it always hovers. You cannot park it anywhere without the wind blowing it away or it gliding downhill, so your car now just drifts away from you wherever you park it. The big deal says, how about the ability to enter a skyway and bypass any and all traffic in the middle of rush hour? Well, big deal, sat-navs don't work on the skyway, you ding-dong, so now every time you use it you get hopelessly lost and spend the exact amount of time trying to find your way home as you would have done just waiting in traffic. What a waste. Hooli, the Holy Heretic, says, well, I just want that turbo boost in whatever vehicle I'm driving. Get out of my way, motherfuckers. Good, lovely. Yes, you can have that. Unfortunately, unless you're a fighter pilot, and I'm not aware of it, Hooli, please let me know if you are. You are now unable to handle the G-force, so you instantly pass out and crash into a tree. R.I.P. Hooli, the Holy Heretic. Super Chess says, gimme that Falcon Punch. Not quite the same game, but I'll take my chances at bending the rules. Oh, you bend away, Super Jess, because now the first time you use it, your hand stays on fire forever, making your day-to-day tasks more or less impossible. Enjoy that challenging wank, because now your hands are on fire. Blue Yoshi 94 says the ability to feature in WarioWare. Well, Blue Yoshi, if you want Wario to do a favour for you, you gotta do a favour for Wario, and you just know that guy doesn't wash it. So, enjoy. Shane's World says the ability to drink beer while driving but have it turn into turbo fuel while driving instead of getting drunk. Having this ability would make it easier to outrun everything and lose the cops. Now, just full disclosure, obviously we here at Retrotopia do not condone the drinking while driving. That being said, this is not making Shane's World drunk, so he gets a pass. Done. But now, your beer shits are absolutely preposterously powered, and every time you use the bathroom, you need to buy yourself a new toilet. Every single time you go. And what else we got? Okay, Dave McGuinness says, I want the ability to drive over something on the road to refuel my truck. Well, Dave, you fucked up there, son, because you only said something. You're not specific enough, mate. You only said something, so the thing you have to drive over and refuel your truck is spoiled fish guts and other gross things. And now you and your car stink permanently because there is no getting that smell out of anything, my friend. Sorry, might have to trade in your car and your body, perhaps for medical science. I don't know. And I think that's all of you. Wonderful. Thanks for playing, guys. Listen, with a game like whatever we're talking about, F-Zero, that's the one, I didn't know how much you'd be able to give me on this one, but you guys really pulled it out of the bag and came up with some creative powers. So thank you for playing along. That was fantastic. All right, so that leads us directly into our next delightful little section here, which is, of course, and as always, the Gentleman's Interlude. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, racing fans of all ages, step right up and feast your ears upon the tale of one of the most electrifying spectacles ever to grace your Super Nintendo screens, the one, the only F-Zero. Developed by the legendary Nintendo Entertainment Analysis and Development Team, under the masterful guidance of none other than Shigeru Miyamoto himself, F-Zero roared onto the scene in the closing days of 1990. That's right, folks, November 21st, 1990 to be precise, in the land of the rising sun, Japan. Not long after, this futuristic racing marvel made its transatlantic leap, thrilling North American and European audiences with its dizzying speeds and daring circuits. Now, what is F-Zero, you ask? Imagine, if you will, a race unlike any other. A competition set in the year 2560, where gravity is but a suggestion and speed is the very essence of life. The racetracks? Twisting ribbons of neon, looping and diving through towering cityscapes and barren wastelands alike. And the vehicles? Hovering craft propelled by engines so powerful they defy physics, capable of speeds that would make your head spin faster than a roulette wheel. But it's not just about raw velocity, dear listeners, no sir, F-Zero was a masterclass in innovation. Thanks to the groundbreaking Mode 7 graphics technology, a fancy term for some whiz-bang programming that turned 2D worlds into immersive 3D experiences, players felt like they were hurtling through the cosmos itself. The roads bent and twisted beneath your wheels, the scenery blurred into streaks of colour, and the adrenaline coursed through your veins like a shot of high-octane fuel. At the helm of these futuristic speed demons, pilots like the enigmatic Captain Falcon, the Blue Falcon of the Blue Falcon no less, raced with a mix of grit and grace, dodging opponents, avoiding deadly crashes, and pushing their machines to the absolute limit. The soundtrack, composed by the talented Yumiko Kanki and Naoto Ishida, pulsed with electronic energy, perfectly matching the fever pitch of the competition. So here's the lowdown. F-Zero is not merely a game, it is a testament to Nintendo's dedication to pushing the boundaries of what a video game can be. It set the stage for countless races to follow, inspiring speed demons and thrill seekers around the world. Released in 1990, it kick-started a franchise that's still beloved decades later. Folks, when you slide into the cockpit and hit that gas, remember, you're not just racing, you're part of history. And that's the story of F-Zero for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. On your marks, get set, go! Alright then, so nothing left to do but to talk about the game itself. And before we do that, of course, we like to listen to what you guys have to say about the game. So first up, we've got Chris Kaplane, who says, Mode 7 go vroom. Still fun, but it walked so Mario Kart could run. Undoubtedly, and I think we do get into this on the episode itself, that this is in some ways kind of a tech demo. So yes, a lot of this would turn up in other games in the future, but still a bit of a trailblazer for that. Hooli, the Holy Heretic, says, top-notch soundtrack. This is a fun game, but it takes some skill to get good at. I give it an F out of 0. Well, there we are. So there's Hooli's show. Tune in next week for Hooli's reviews. No, I agree. Top-notch soundtrack. The music in this absolutely bangs, and it is a fun game. It is a fun game. I'm just not really a racing guy. So anyway, you'll hear my opinions soon enough. Super Jess says, I didn't play this much growing up, but grew to love it as I got older. I did play a lot of Star Wars Episode 1 Racer, which I feel had similar racing styles. I do love popping this in every once in a while, though now, just for some good high-speed fun. I am sorry I fucked that comment up so badly. Absolutely agree. I would keep it down about Star Wars Episode 1 Racer, though, because Sam might hear you. And if he does, he's going to be in here like a shot. Because if I remember rightly, Sam fucking loves that game. As he should. Good game. Blue Yoshi 94 says, I've played both F-Zero SNES and F-Zero 99, but mainly just 99, and I use Fire Stingray. Also, isn't Mario Kart SNES really similar to F-Zero? 5 courses per cup, 4 laps? Yes, it most likely is, Yoshi. I've never played F-Zero 99. I think it comes up on the show, briefly. I'd like to give it a go, but I'm bad enough at this game just by, myself. The idea of playing with 99 other human beings who've all been playing it for quite some time kind of terrifies me, not going to lie. So, I don't know. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. And Shane's World is going to bring us home. Shane's World says, never played an F-Zero game, unfortunately. Well, the good news is, Shane's World, is that you don't have to play an F-Zero game to enjoy this episode, because we're going to lay it all out for you right now. So thanks, as always, guys, for writing in. We love your interaction. We love what you bring to this show. Keep it up. Keep up the good work. Alright then, without further ado, make sure your vehicles are properly fueled, put your pedals to the metal, and try not to crash into anything and explode. because Sam, Brian, and I are going to talk about F-Zero, released for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System in Japan on November 21st, 1990, in North America on August 23rd, 1991, and in Europe apparently sometime in 1992, because we always get things late. Thanks for listening, guys. On your marks, get set, and enjoy the show. Alright, and we are back to talk a little bit of F-Zero for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. And with me to do that, as always, is our very own Captain Falcon, Brian. And drifting around the corners of my heart is Sam himself. And then there's me, somewhere in last place, driving in the complete opposite direction and crashing and exploding. How you doing, guys?
Well,
not bad.
I was driving home today and I didn't crash and explode, so that's a positive.
Well, that's why you're Captain Falcon.
Sure. Jesus.
And that's why I am literally the only one here who cannot drive. And fuck me, it showed on this game, let me tell you. Buddy.
Did you use your blinkers?
Do you know what? Like everything else, every one of these other retro games, I have absolutely no idea what the controls are. So no, I wasn't aware if there was blinkers. Yeah, you could be making shit up and I wouldn't know.
Yeah. Tap select to honk.
Oh.
People get out of your way.
Oh, don't get me started on people.
That would have been so useful. Holy shit.
Mate, that was...
Were you driving on the left side of the road, Alan?
Oh, that's the problem.
You're playing the British version.
That's it. Well, I wasn't. That's the problem. Because if I had been, then I would know what's what.
You just don't know what to do at that point. You're just lost.
God damn it. How are you doing, guys, anyway? What's good?
Oh, I'm good. I'm going to let Sam go. I've been talking about myself a lot today.
Sleepy Brian. I'm good. I enjoyed this game. So I've been playing it here and there this week. It's not one that you need to spend like a ton of time with to kind of get the feel of and know how you feel about it.
No, for sure.
So it's kind of refreshing.
And this will probably be, again, one of our shorter episodes because of it. Because, you know, this is a good game, but it's not a very deep game.
No.
Yeah, it's what it is. It's a racing game on the Super Nintendo. You're getting what you paid for.
Absolutely. And, you know, this is not... I mean, I was really only playing this for the first time recently to get ready for this show. But, like, you guys, do you have a bigger history? Let's do that bit. Like, what is your history with this game?
Oh, Sam, you can go first.
I don't really. I mean, I've dabbled in it before since the Switch Online came around, but before that, I had never played it. I wasn't even really aware of it. And when I always thought that F-Zero was called F-Zero X, which is the Super or the N64 one, and in the original Smash, you could use Captain Falcon, and he was pretty good, but I didn't know what the hell he was from.
No, exactly. But I'd seen that character.
I don't have much. Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah, that's the thing, is everybody's going to recognize Captain Falcon from Smash Brothers, but I don't know how many people are going to recognize him from the actual game.
I had no idea.
Right. Yeah. Fuck, for me, this is just one of those games that every kid seemed to have. I will say I find one thing funny about it is, you remember those Sega does what Nintendo don't commercials that were on in the 90s?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, why didn't Sega compare themselves to this game over Mario Kart? I mean, it just seems like if they're trying to make a good comparison, maybe you want to put Sonic up against something that's faster than it. Just saying, Sonic is really slow.
You know, I guess they're picking their battles.
F-Zero's not.
No, F-Zero goes.
They're lying. Sega is lies.
Well.
But, yeah, so going back to my history with the game, I played it on and off a lot when I was younger, and I don't think I ever had a copy, but I know everybody I knew who had a Super Nintendo had a copy of this game. I don't know why I never liked this game. I just don't find it fun. And that's ruining the end of the thing, but I'm going to give it an honest, straight down the middle review, of course.
Oh, no, you don't like it?
That's it. Show's
Hey,
over.
I can be objective. I can be objective without liking something. I mean, that's why I get on with I'm not going to say something mean. I was going to say something mean, but I
Well, I
won't.
mean,
Yeah,
how do you feel
don't be
about
mean.
racing games in general, Brian?
I like racing games, like Gran Turismo series. I really like that. I like the Forza series. Not so much Forza Horizon. I like structured racing more.
Hmm.
Uh, I've played F1 games. I like Mario Kart, so I do like racing games. There's something specific about this one that just doesn't do it for me. And I think it might be the futuristic floating car bouncing off the walls like you're a fucking basketball blowing up sort of aspect to the game.
Fair enough. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm a great lover of racing games, and that's probably because I'm not very good at them. I mean, I prefer this, I think, to some of the other games, other racing games, because of the sort of quirkiness of how it looks, and because I was always a big fan of the Wipeout series, and this kind of feels like a very early proof of concept for that.
Well, possibly, but would you put this more under a kart racer or a racing game? Like more like a Mario Kart or more like a, I don't know, Need for Speed?
I think I consider it more of a kart racer. Like you were
Yeah,
talking
see,
about, like
that's how I look at it.
it's on. It kind of feels like Brian, you like more of the realistic type racing games. If you're looking at like a Forza or Gran
Well,
Turismo,
realistic is, yeah, I think I'm not as into kart racers outside of the Mario Kart series as some people are out there. I am, I don't know, I can take different types of racing games like simulation versus arcadey racing. I don't mind. Like there's games like Outrun and Top Gear 2 that I really liked. And those ones are very basic arcadey racing games.
yeah. See, I like racing games, but I think I might like the more cartoonish style racing games, like Mario Kart. Obviously, this I enjoyed. Rock and Roll Racing, Micro Machines, those types of games. I think I really enjoy.
Yeah,
Yeah, that makes sense. I guess, like, I don't know. You either like him or you hate him. That's all I can say about that. It's really up to your personal preference. But I don't know. The mode 7 in this one, it's not even the problem of the game. I don't know why I don't like it. We're going to
yeah.
analyze this.
We'll
But
get to the bottom of this, mate. Don't you worry. Don't you
yeah,
worry.
I was playing it this week while I was over at my buddy's place, and just turning on the Switch there and playing a few laps and stuff like that. And there's a couple of things that really annoy me, but I just going around the tracks and everything just feels so bare. It's almost boring to look at, and you're just repeating the same loop what 3 or 4 times, and you go to the next track and you just rinse and repeat this until you finished all the tracks. I don't know.
Oh, I
I
disagree.
really, really, really wish I knew why. I really wish I did like this game more, and I really wish I wanted to play the sequels, but I just
I
don't.
half
Oh,
get your
man.
point, but I don't know that I can agree that it looks boring.
It's colorful, and it's like
it really
the
pops.
environments
So, I mean-
are kind of cool. Like, yeah, they're a little like, I mean, they have to be a little bit barren because they're you're not going to populate it with people and stuff like that. Came out
Well,
what, like
how often did you
1991?
look off the track, though? I mean,
I
I
couldn't.
was always looking at the track. Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, they don't have to make big graphics outside of it, and if it's the colors that make you happy, I mean, it's all the power to you.
Yeah,
Just there's no crowds. There's no sense of you're in this intergalactic race. There's nothing to say that you're being watched on TV. Like Rock and Roll Racing always made you felt like you're racing to an audience or something like that.
I suppose, but this was a bit more innovative than a Rock and Roll Racing, because Rock and Roll Racing took just the top down and kind of just made it a little bit more isometric.
Yeah.
This completely did something different with Mode 7.
I just
Yeah.
thought. I think this feels like a tech demo for Mode
Do you know
7.
what?
Yeah.
As you were talking, like that did start to creep into my mind. It's just like because it is kind of basic, but I think the main draw of the thing is that Mode 7 and just how well it's implemented and how good it looks, and maybe that's what they were going for. I don't know.
Possibly. I mean, Kirby started out as a tech demo or a placeholder, and look what Kirby turned into. So
Yeah.
it yeah, it could have very well been a tech demo for the Super Nintendo there, and they're just like, hey, we can build a game out of this and release something, and then, yeah, you got 4 cars, and you got, tracks that are gray for most part, and some obstacles, and, yeah, great tech demo. That's what I'm going to go with. It's a tech demo now.
Well, I mean, we just recently talked about Contra, and I liked Contra. I liked that original Contra game for its lack of, I guess lack of frills. It's simple. You run, you jump, you shoot, and that's pretty much all you have to do. And it's the same with this. It's just go forward. Obviously some of the, you can ramp up the difficulty if you want to, and there's like the 3 cups that you can do, and the third one is the toughest. So the courses do get more challenging, and so that's kind of where the variation comes in. But at the end of the day, it's a simple, racer, and there's no frills to it. There's no items. There's
No. Well,
and it's fast.
I just looked it up. It literally was a tech demo.
Are you serious?
Well,
Yeah.
there you have it.
Well, there we are.
Yeah, there was a couple of demos that Nintendo R&D 1 made to show off like the Mode 7 graphics, and this was a Formula 1 style racing prototype. So where you have the flat tracks and stuff like that. So
And then they made a whole story around that.
Which-
Formula 1 style, but they made it in the future and called it F0 instead of F1.
Yeah, and
Yes.
looking at the
Oh,
instruction
space
manual,
theme.
like there's like 2 whole pages talking about the story of this game.
I know.
And it's just like, all right, I guess it's just like humanity and its fear of aliens, and now it's living among aliens, and now there's all these
why
rich
do
people.
you need a story
I
for this
don't
game? You could just
know.
literally
I don't.
fucking intergalactic racing has become a thing. You're considered one of the best. Your name is Captain Blue Falcon or whatever his first
It
name
could
is.
just
I
say
have no
that
idea.
space cars shut up and go fast, but it
Yeah.
does not. It gives you quite the blurb, quite the future history of how this, I guess, almost like a blood sport came to be, because this game can be vicious with, actually blowing up its drivers, and it's kind of like pod racing, I guess.
Yeah, I was
In a
actually going to
sense.
mention that it is kind of, and it goes fast like the pod racer game, because you look up at your speedometer and you're up in like the 400, 500 mile an hour
Yeah.
range.
Kilometers per hour. We use the metric in the future.
Wow.
Well, actually, it's probably better to use metric if we're being honest.
Is it fair to say
Yeah,
that?
well, 400 kilometers an hour is pretty fast, but I mean, an F1 car can top 300 kilometers an hour as well. So
Wow.
at least they kept that in the realm of realism.
Yeah, but they're not floating. They're not floating. I think. Yeah.
You also don't have mines on an F1 track.
True.
Or other
true.
drivers, like what the fuck were they doing? Were those
Oh.
other racers
the-
in the race? Like all those little yellow cars that would fuck me up? Like I was thinking like, are we just racing on some open road and these are like commuters going to work and I'm blowing past them and like blowing some of them up?
Yeah, because you have the 3 types of cars, right? You have your rivals, you have the brown ones, and then the green ones. And the brown ones are like, your grandmas. They're just driving slow, and they're just sitting there blocking your path. Where the green ones, you bump them enough times, and they're going to explode.
You
So
know, they're annoying as
it's
hell
like-
when you're in first place and they can kind of fuck up your run because they can.
they
if-
do fuck up your run.
They're
But
always in
without
the
your
way.
like your-
always in the
Yeah,
way.
but without
You're
them,
sweet ass sliding around the fucking corner, and you bump into one of those brown guys. The next thing you know, you're ping ponging off the fucking walls, and there comes second place. It's always right behind you.
oh, they're always
Just casually drives around, and he fucking wins.
Now,
Happened to me on the last lap of so many fucking
know.
races.
But the thing is, like, without those cars, as frustrating as it can be to run into one of them, wouldn't the game be kind of boring without them? I mean, if you're in first, there's really nothing to stop you from staying in first unless they give you some
Oh,
obstacles.
not
And,
if
like,
you're
I
as
guess,
not if you're as
I
bad
guess
as
it's
I
kind
am.
of a
That's the
lazy
problem
way
with
to do
this game.
obstacles. But
Yeah.
whatever.
The course itself
Like
is
they
an
could have
obstacle.
made they could have made better tracks or something like that, or I mean, the landmines is not a bad idea because at least it's something on the track there. But just having random cars show up in front of you, it's like, yeah, we're gonna race on this futuristic track with traffic.
You see, I genuinely thought that those are the cars I was lapping. It didn't even occur to me that they were just there randomly. I just thought, oh, I'm doing really well. Look, this is whatever fuckers in last place.
You were not doing
Well,
well.
no, not with those fuckers in the way. I wasn't. And like you say, the thing is, though, I mean, the tracks themselves are so narrow and so fraught with hazard. It's just like, I did not need those cunts getting in my way. I was doing bad enough all by myself. Thank you very much.
Good track design would have saved this game a lot, and getting rid of those cars. I mean, you can make narrow points, sharp corners, jumps. You can make the holes. You can make the mines. You can make the magnetic strips. You can do all that crap. Get rid of the car and maybe put a couple more twists and turns into the tracks.
Don't get me started on jumps either. My God.
It's there were the first couple times I was like, I'm gonna take that jump because it's there, and then I would just launch myself off the track and die.
Yeah. Oh God, that too. Or you land on the side strip there, and it just like hurts you, and you can't get back on in time. And you blow up.
That's not even the worst one. There was one on a track, like, I can't remember which circuit it was on, but like part of the track was you literally had to jump over a gap to get to the next part of the track. And I could never make, because you've got to take a corner first, a really hard left, and then you have 0 speed to make this jump. And I was like, what the fuck am I doing wrong? So I actually had to look it up, and I was just like, oh, okay. You have to like pull back on the controller to put the nose up in the air so that you have the clearance to and I was just like, oh, for fuck's sake. I mean, listen, I know it's my fault. I should have read the instruction manual, Retrotopia 101. But I was just like, oh, for fuck's sake. I spent so many lives.
90% of our problems.
Exactly. So many lives trying to get over that gap.
Did the manual tell you that you could pull back and jump higher or further?
Do you know what? I'm going to look at that right now. I
didn't see it.
I've got it literally in front of me.
Another thing that those games sometimes did was like not tell you everything. There were sometimes
fucking trial and error.
No, it's right here. Look,
hidden shit.
Press down. Points machine's nose up, lengthening the jump flight distance when the machine jumps from a jump plate. Yeah. So, fuck me.
Well, I stand corrected, but I wouldn't have put it past them to not include that little piece of information.
Yeah, so many manuals just like add the basics to it, and then the advanced stuff is trial and error or schoolyard rumors and stuff like that. No. But getting back to this game, you got 4 options for the cars, right?
Yep.
I mean, who did you race as the most? Because each car does kind of have a little bit of was it positive and negative? So like you got Blue Falcon, which is balanced. You got Golden Fox, the yellow car, which has a weak body, fastest acceleration, but the lowest top speed, and also spins out easily. I hated that car.
That sounds terrible.
You have the Wild Goose, or the green car, which has a tough body and can withstand a lot of collisions, but has really slow acceleration. Then you have the pink car, which is Fire Stingray, fastest top speed, heavy body, but really bad acceleration. So it's good for people who don't slow down a lot. So not me.
No.
So what car did you take the most?
I mean, I pretty much used Blue Falcon.
And did you pick it just because of the color?
No, I picked Blue Falcon because it was literally the first one there, and I just thought, well, I've got to start somewhere. And it turned out to be a pretty manageable car. I mean, I did use the Golden Fox for a little bit because, that acceleration was pretty mint. But I found, like, the way I play racing games, I value sort of control over speed because I am a bitch when it comes to cornering, and I could not for the life of me figure out the drifting aspect in this game. So I was very much a brake and get around the corner kind of a guy.
Yeah, there was no drifting in this game. That was the funny part. Is you can lean the car by using the bumper buttons, but it wasn't actually a drift. It just helped you turn a little bit sharper, but you still had to use the brake to cause the car to slow down just enough that you can push through the corner there. So it actually became pretty technical in that aspect. It's not like Mario Kart where you just slide until you got enough boost and then go straight.
I was under the impression that if you pressed both the L and R buttons on the top, you would actually drift.
Oh, that'd be news to me.
At the same time.
Can't confirm. Yeah, I think so. I'm sure I saw that somewhere. Well, maybe the reason I
Because there's
couldn't
a
figure out
break
then
and
because I didn't
there's a
fucking.
break and a boost.
Well, yeah, no, I mean the left and right on the top there. One leans you
Yeah.
one way, one leans you the other, and pressing both of them, I'm told, would drift you around the track. But maybe.
No, I just
Hmm.
looked it up. It says no, it does not.
Oh well, that's the reason I couldn't get it to work then. Fucking game.
Yeah. Yeah, the boost that Sam, you brought that up there. I didn't realize that there was a little icon on the bottom right that you got to boost every lap until way too long into the game.
Yeah,
I just kept trying to spam the boost button.
it's really helpful, but I didn't notice it until I did like a time trial or just like a practice run, and I was trying to just see what all the different buttons did before I looked at the manual, and that's where I discovered the boost. But yeah, it is useful because if you save them up to the end and you're in trouble on the straightaway, you can use it to catch your opponents. But otherwise, like, man, you can be doing well for 4 laps and then on the 5th lap get just kind of royally screwed. That happened to
Yeah,
me a few
fucking ping
times.
ponged off the walls, and
Yep.
then the guy just casually floats by you right over the
Oh,
line.
that ping ponging was
Fucking-
so obnoxious. The amount of times, and they said
Or-
you would be generally having a good run, and all it would take is just bumping, and you would literally there's zero way to get control back. At
Yeah, it
least
takes
not
a
until
lot of
you've lost.
concentration to play these
You,
games.
you either come to a dead stop and lose all that time in all those places, or you just sit there and hit the restart and you start the whole friggin' thing over
Yeah,
again.
yeah,
And
exactly.
this game
Or,
did what Mario Kart
explode.
did, where you have like lives, right?
Yeah,
Like you could restart, but you'd lose a try.
Yeah,
And yeah,
yeah. That wasn't a bad thing, but it was unnecessary because, I mean, if you fail to get through the race, give somebody a chance to retry as many times as they want. Don't make them go all the way back to the beginning after 2 lives.
yeah. I mean, that only really works if it's an arcade game. I don't understand the holdover there.
Yeah, and considering this wasn't an arcade game, at least not originally, I don't see why the lives thing had to happen.
Agreed.
Mind you, at the same time, I mean, I don't know why they had to throw traffic in the way either in these intergalactic super secret special races.
On these insanely
But-
narrow tracks with hairpin
Yeah.
turns and.
I'm not the developer, so what can I say? I have no idea. What else is there? Those magnetic strips and that wind track, the death wind track.
yeah, those sucked. You're supposed to be able to, like, the idea behind it is to use the right and left shoulder buttons to kind of keep yourself in the middle, but again, it just kind of felt like I was flying back and forth, and I couldn't really control myself anyways.
I hated those things, and I genuinely didn't figure out to use the L and R buttons to try and get off of them. I was just pointing my nose in the opposite direction and just hoping for the best. But it's just like, come on, really? I was having a good time. We were all having a good time until you put that on the track.
Yeah, well, but if there wasn't any traffic in the way, those things wouldn't be a bad thing.
I don't know. They still kind of pull you into the
I honestly-
buffers or the bumpers, or
They
yeah.
do, but once you realize you can use the L and R button to kind of pull yourself away, at least you have a way to mitigate that. But if you're doing that while trying to dodge cars,
It
it's...
becomes
Anyways, I think my biggest problem with this game, and I'm going to stop talking about it, is the traffic.
yeah. Gets in the way, and you're on the magnetic strip, and it makes it very, very difficult to pull yourself off.
Yeah. Pull yourself off.
Nah.
You did have some positives there. You had the boost in some dash zones or whatever it's called. So you go around and you hit like the classic arrows on the ground. It would speed you up there for a little bit. Then you could also bump your rivals, and you could actually blow your rivals up too if you were that type of guy. So there was some positives that you could do in this game to make your race a little bit better for you.
I would be.
It's
that
like if
kind
you
of
had
guy.
enough health on your whatever, your damage bar on the side, you could use yourself. You could use your speed and your angles a little bit more offensively.
Did you guys use the spin attack? Double tap the L and R to slam sideways into opponent?
What?
No.
That's a thing.
Yeah, apparently.
Shoot, I
No.
was not playing this right.
Looking at some controls
Like,
here.
I was aware of the fact that you could sort of target and attack your opponents, but I found that the fact that you would bounce yourself off of them as well, it just became too risky to use.
Yeah, you had that power bar, and you had to go through the pit lane there to get your power bar to
I
go up, and you only
really like
had
that.
like 2 to 3
Yeah.
seconds of power you could get back. So it was, it was gains, but it wasn't enough to make it like dumb simple, because you could never get the bar all the way to full if you kept bouncing off stuff. So you kind of had to be tactical how you
Yeah.
use it. Like if you're on the second to last lap and you realize you might need to bounce a wall to, make the turn, at least you knew that you had the healing zone coming up. So a little bit of strategy in that one was nice.
Yeah, I appreciate
A
the
lot of
fact that
the-
it was just like I only need like the barest minimum to get through this last lap. Just give me a little bit of health back, and I should be okay.
Yeah, it's like a lot of
Yeah.
the strategies that you could use were very high risk, high reward, because you could either, damage or blow up an opponent, but you could just as easily get, ricocheted around the walls and take a lot of damage and lose your place anyways. So
And you
it's
would,
tough.
Yeah.
you would take a
Yeah,
lot of
for
damage.
sure.
Yeah, so that guy who's always friggin' chasing you, because I don't care what anybody says, they have a guy that's like rubber band right to your
Oh
ass.
yeah, big time.
And you would make one slight mistake, and this guy was driving perfectly every time. He would just come around the corner, fucking nail the turn, avoid the traffic, and then you'd just be left in his dust. But you'd have a little more speed to catch up to him or whatever. And that's the only real racing in this game, is when that guy who rubber banded you got ahead of you for a little
And you
bit.
would always see that little flashing sign at the bottom of the screen that says, he is right up your ass, and you see that, and you just like, oh, for
Yeah.
fuck's sake, like.
That was stressful. And so was if you were low on health or whatever, the beeping would make me a little frantic.
Yeah,
I hate that era of Super Nintendo where you have to beep for low health. Looking at you, Legend of Zelda.
Or
I
the original
guess.
Pokemon where it's like doo 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 for the whole.
Oh god,
Yeah.
why did they do that? Like what? Like whose idea was like kids are gonna love listening to this repetitive sound over and over, burrow a hole into their brain.
hey, you know how you're doing like really badly right now? Here's a really annoying tune to make you feel even worse.
We want to make sure that you
Yeah.
know how badly you're doing.
Yeah. So you suck, you suck,
Ah,
you suck,
exactly.
you suck, you suck.
How about the highlight of this game? That music, though.
Oh,
I will give this game a good positive score for its music.
yeah, big time.
And that Captain Falcon song from Smash Brothers, which is, I think, not his theme, but the one they use on his level, the F-Zero level, is instantly recognizable in this game. As soon as you start playing the first, what's it called, Mute City?
Yeah, you know what? Having not really played this game before, I got a kick out of hearing it because I've heard that tune, and I had no idea what it was from. So when that started playing, I was just like, "Oh fuck yeah, I know this."
Yeah.
And
Well,
yeah,
and they've got the oh sorry.
no, go on.
The Mute City course in Mario Kart. It's like they play it there too. All the F-Zero sounds.
Brilliant.
Is that Mario Kart 8?
Yeah.
I must have never paid attention. I didn't know there was a Mute City in that.
Looks like a giant water slide.
Huh.
I haven't played
Oh,
Mario Kart
well,
8
I'll
in
have to go back
so
to
long.
Mario Kart 8, yeah.
And apparently you're going to enjoy it a lot more than F-Zero.
Yeah. Well, Mario Kart did it right. They took the formula and they expanded on it and made it a lot better. Like, look at just Mario Kart itself. It really is a much better version of F-Zero.
I guess.
Because it's not traffic. You're racing actual people who you expect to see on the track in the order that they're in, and you have weapons. This game doesn't have weapons. I want weapons.
The thing,
Don't give me a futuristic car without giving me fucking laser guns.
now that I
I
think
don't know.
about
I
it,
appreciate the lack of weapons.
yeah, I mean, I don't think it's
Missiles.
quite a kart racer without weapons. She's like, that's
Yeah, that's kind of where it blurs the line, isn't it?
that's where I
Yeah,
think I
not-
prefer things like Wipeout and what have you, because it's just that little bit extra. It's just like because if somebody's gone past you, you really want some way to just ruin their entire day. Give me some way to blow them
Yeah,
up.
I don't know.
No,
This
this is
game
how I'm
needs
going to
a
ruin
blue
their
shell.
day. I'm going to catch up to them, and I'm going to bump into them, and then I'm going to fly off the
Yeah.
track.
And apparently spin at them.
I'm just gonna ping pong in this narrow alley, and I'm just gonna do that for the rest of the hour until my car blows up.
That's right.
That's the way it's done. But yeah, music
That'll show 'em.
slaps. Music does absolutely fuck in this game.
Yeah, I know you said this is going to be a very short episode, Alan, but I can't think of anything else I want to talk about this game.
Well, I mean, it's a very, very short game. I mean,
Yeah,
I played through. So this here is my dilemma, and I've told you guys about this. It's just like, because you guys know I like to log my wins, my victories. Because God knows I don't win at anything else in life. But I beat this on beginner, and I thought, does that count? Because
yes.
I appreciate you saying that, but this is up to the masses who listen to the show. Because I did dabble with some of the higher difficulties, and like, you really fucking go, and some of those turns you have to make at the higher speeds, it just becomes a bit fucking ridiculous. And
But did you get the full story?
you know what? I got a full, comprehensive beginning, middle, and end. Appreciated that. I mean,
He drives, he bounces, he explodes.
and then at the end it says F0, start, all of that good stuff. So, it's...
All right, then we're throwing it out to the listeners. If you want to have a comment on Alan's finishing F-Zero on easy, you can do so at our link tree. You can find our social medias. That includes our Instagram, where you can find Alan, our Twitter, our, what's it called, Blue Sky. Get into Discord. You can yell at him directly, and he'll answer you.
Absolutely.
You can leave a comment on this episode and give it after giving it a 5-star, because we'd appreciate if you
Just
did that. So yell at
Give me
Alan.
shit.
I'd say
Just-
it counts. It
Yeah.
counts.
I do. Yeah.
Come
Probably.
on. I mean, at
Because
least,
if it's not your genre,
well,
I mean,
yeah.
should you really? Yeah.
And also,
Like, I'm not gonna.
it's all the
We
tracks,
gotta figure this out,
right?
Sam.
It's all the tracks.
I think so.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
So yeah, you played the game through and through. So just because it was on easy, it's a game that you're not like. If you were into it, you'd strive to get better at the game. So
I mean, I might go back to it one day. But I tell you what, I won't fucking do is play it on Switch again. Jesus fucking Christ! Because I played this on the original SNES, and with that controller, it's just night and day. Because trying to play it handheld on a Switch, those buttons are so small. Like, I could not. Because I don't know about you, but I generally play like I'm like holding my thumb on accelerator, but just far enough that I can tap that brake with the end of my thumb when I need to. But I just did not have that level of control on the Switch. So
fat fingers sitting there pushing two buttons at once.
It's my curse. I just
played it.
these goddamn sausages.
I played it with the 8-bit do or whatever, the one that looks like the PlayStation controller fucked a Super Nintendo controller, and that one worked pretty well. The buttons are the right size, and it's got a comfortable grip and stuff, so I had a good time with it.
Yeah, that's the way to go.
Yeah, that 8-bit do is a great controller. Yeah, that's my go-to for pretty much all my emulation.
You cannot play this
They're
with
coming out with the
Joy-Cons.
Pro 3, like a new one, and you can actually swap the buttons out.
Ooh,
There you go.
I like
Yeah.
that.
Nice. Very nice. But yeah,
Which is something that's more interesting than this game.
Well, hey, have you guys ever played any of the other ones? I know there were a couple on the GBA, and then there was obviously F-Zero X, and the GameCube one, I guess, is held in pretty high regard also.
I have not.
I've not.
I don't know. This game turned me off of playing any more of these games. So,
Oh, really? I mean, I'll try the GBA ones at least.
It didn't for me.
well, if it's for the show, I'll try it. But I never wanted to go play these after playing this one.
I might look into them. I'll be honest.
I mean, I'll tell you what, I might
I
find F-Zero X if I can.
Now, you guys always got to be contradictory to me.
Yeah.
F-Zero X is on Switch Online, isn't it, or GameCube Online?
Switch Online for F-Zero X, I think it is. GameCube doesn't have it yet, or maybe it does. I could be wrong.
If it hasn't, it's going.
I mean,
to.
I was I'm sure it will be. I was distracted by the fact that Wind Waker was on there, so I made a
Oh,
beeline for that
that is a
and
hot,
ignored
hot
everything
get.
else. I know.
That is
It's like
very
finally.
nice. The funny thing is Brian, you're talking about us contradicting you, and the fact
Yeah, I thought you
it's
would.
not lost on me the fact that the two Sega kids are the ones here that are defending the Nintendo game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Well,
true.
you're just jealous because Nintendo actually had a game with somebody that went fast.
Oh, quick correction before anyone writes in. F-Zero GX is currently on the GameCube Online.
Oh, there you go.
So it's...
Oh, they've already stopped the episode and are writing their letter. It's too
yeah,
late, Sam.
I know. It's
But-
F-Zero GX, Soul Calibur, and Wind Waker, and I think one of the Mario sports games.
That's only for people who have the Switch 2, which does not include me. Still, I have 2 Switches, but no
Yay.
Switch 2.
Just
Oh.
tape them together.
Yeah.
Tape it together, and that's 2 Switches. Switch 2. 2 Switch 2.
That'll definitely, dude. Quiet down. You'll get the fucking Nintendo on our ass.
Like, you are not allowed to tape our consoles together to make it into a quote-unquote Switch 2.
Fuck you, Doug Bowser. I hope he's not listening to this. That is the guy from Nintendo, isn't it? Doug Bowser.
Yeah, I think his name is
Yeah.
Bowser, which is crazy. Yeah.
That's just fucking ridiculous. But there you go. Look, we've gone way off the beaten track, much like I do when I play F-Zero. Because
We launched ourselves off.
we've launched ourselves and we are crashing and burning because Brian, you're right. There really isn't much to talk about this game beyond just a basic racer. I mean, that said, I will stand on the hill that says that this is an absolutely gorgeous game to look at. That mode 7, beautifully implemented, and the speed, it does feel like you really go in this game. I mean, that was my first and overriding. Fuck, it feels like I'm summing up already. Should we just make
Might
this
as well.
the sum up?
Yep.
Fuck
Yeah,
it, let's make this.
yeah.
That was
Yeah, pretty
that
much.
was my first and overriding sort of sense while playing this game, is that it just went, it flew, it was so smooth. There was little to no slowdown or anything like that. That music is pretty damn good, but then Super Nintendo games always 9 times out of 10 have excellent music. It was just half the course on that console. I don't know, did any of you guys, because when I was playing on Medium, I had the drama of like bouncing off the walls and dropping down into like 6th place or something, and it actually just sort of kicked me out of the race when everyone else had gone across the line there. So I do think there is a certain number of races that drop off each track, so that's kind of like 99, which I've not played. But it's
Yeah, a
kind
little
of
bit.
similar.
It's like I saw it in the manual. Like you have to be, each lap you have to have been gaining in the rankings a little bit more. So yeah, it does drop you off kind of in a 99 style. And
Right.
we really didn't talk about that, but I've dabbled in it, but I don't think I meant to load it and play it, but it's just overwhelming. Like that style of game, I was just like, I'm gonna get my ass handed to me.
Oh, I would.
Played it once or twice, and it was just it's too
I
much.
do not need
It's
to
a
know
lot
how
at
bad it
once.
is.
Considering I'm lukewarm on the game to begin with, I mean, F-Zero 99 was just kind of like, why am I going to force myself to play a game that I'm, one, not very good at, against people who know the game way better than me,
Absolutely.
and just not have a good time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean,
So-
I don't regret playing this game. I don't regret having it in the collection there, and I probably will go back to it and play it again at some point, because it's fun for what it is. It is a very simple, very basic, and as we've found out, kind of a tech demo, but it's a really polished tech demo. It has frustrations, of course, mostly added, my own inadequacies with the genre in general. But no, I would dabble in some more F-Zero and see where that journey takes me. I mean, again, not the biggest racing fan. I think I'm probably going to land on something like a 6.5, and I'm sure all of those angry letters are coming Not just to tell me that I'm shit for only completing it on beginner, but now that I've given it a 6.5, you can add a little bit of extra spice to those comments there.
Well, something to legitimize you finishing it on easy. If you were to finish Rock and Roll Racing on easy, it actually tells you like, yeah, that's great, but play it on a higher difficulty, and then we'll talk. Like it doesn't. You don't
Okay.
get to go to all the planets. You don't get to go to do all the races, and then the game tells you that you need to turn up the difficulty.
Well, the game never gave me
That was
shit.
game shaming.
That is.
Yeah,
Big
game
time.
shame.
Do you know what, Sam? We'll save Brian for last because I feel like he's gonna have the spiciest take.
Yeah, we already know where Brian lands on this one. I enjoyed
Blew my
this.
load too early.
Yeah, I enjoyed this. I like racing games, but I'm kind of opposite of Brian. Like I don't care for as much the realistic racing games. Like I was all about, like your Cruising USA's and remember San Francisco Rush? That game was cool too.
Nope.
Kind of more arcadey style racers or kart racers, and this kind of is a fantasy racer. Obviously hovercrafts that go 400 miles an hour aren't a real thing. So I liked the graphics. It was bright, colorful, looked great, sounded great, and I know it's a tech demo, so I mean I can't really hold it to a higher standard than that. I think Nintendo really lucked out on this when they released it and it kind of became its own franchise. The ripple of it is felt in other games too. Obviously Super Smash. I think Captain Falcon is one of the more popular characters in Super Smash because of his move set and not really as an F-Zero character. And then also they've dabbled a little bit in themed courses on Mario Kart that are fun, but so I mean it's definitely something that has made its mark in Nintendo history for sure, and I really hope actually that a new F-Zero game comes along that's more than the 99 version. I think it would be really cool to see a new one and what they could do with the current technology with a game like this. I'm going to give it a 7.5. I really did enjoy it. And the only reason why it's not higher than a 7.5 is because, I figured that some of the subsequent games would probably be better than this.
You know.
But yeah. Yeah, one would hope. But yeah, I think F-Zero X has a pretty good reputation and the GameCube one too. And I don't know, maybe even the Game Boy ones. But yeah, I mean, the Game Boy ones you don't need a lot of buttons to play this game. The Game Boy ones could be pretty fire too. I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. Maintaining that speed on a Game Boy seems a bit... I'd give them a go. Brian.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes, sir.
Let's
All
have
right.
it.
Well, I don't know why people like this game at all. Honestly, I get why it was released. I get what they're trying to do, but it really feels like something that should have been part of a combo pack. Maybe released with the Super Nintendo to show off the fancy Mode 7, Super Mario World and F-Zero, like you had Super Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt. I find the graphics very sparse. I have no problem with the color palette they use. I mean, you're right, it's very colorful, but there's just nothing really to look at except for repeating patterns. And, it's specifically designed so that, it looks good in Mode 7, which often can just flatten, pixel art. No, like, the tracks themselves are pretty much the same thing. They didn't even vary the color of the cement in a lot of the tracks, but you get what you get. I find the track design as well actually probably would have been better if it didn't have so many obstacles. Otherwise, the track designs were just you couldn't even get skill out of the track because you also had to avoid these random obstacles, these cars. And I felt that really took away from the game because you're not racing, you're just basically dodging. Leaving the mines, leaving the gravel or whatever slows you down on the side there, leaving the damage and all that kind of good stuff, but making an actual racer. And I'm not going to say make the AI better because that's kind of telling, 1990s to catch up to today. But get rid of the rubber banding and actually make the game racers, I guess the AI, I guess I can't say anything else, but make it actually race you instead of just automatically being behind you. Um, Overall, I mean, it's a very, very boring racer. There's way better racers on the Super Nintendo, which is what I'm comparing this to. So I just absolutely cannot like this game, but I'm not going to take it out on any future game because I've never played the subsequent F Zeros because this game is so uninspired to me. I really wish it was maybe a bit longer. I wish there was better track variety, more cars, maybe some customization to your cars to add a little bit of I guess flair to the game. Like if you take Top Gear 2, you can add parts to your car to make it a little bit faster, handle better, get more nitrous. This game lets you do nothing. It's a bare bones game, and I think that's where it suffers the most. I'm going low. I'm going 4 out of 10 on this.
Oh, thanks, Brian. I feel like you just took a bunch of heat off of me. I appreciate that, buddy. I appreciate that about you.
Well, you know what? It gets 4 for the music, which I liked.
Yeah, music is good. But they are. I mean, that's 3 completely different scores, which is nice. That is, I like a bit of variety. You know, we've basically covered all the entire scoring range there. Brilliant stuff.
That's the first time I think we've actually had this wide of a range for a game.
Yeah, I like it. Well,
Or
there we
without
go.
me just being the outlier, like BioShock, where I just didn't like it. I can't even remember what score I gave that, but I think it might have been higher. But Far Cry was one that I was a bit low on.
8 out of 10.
For BioShock? It might have
Yeah.
actually been, because I think I might have recognized that it was a well put together game. I just didn't know how to play it. Here's a question before we wrap up, Brian. You mentioned that this isn't your favorite, that there are better racing games on the Super Nintendo. Besides Mario Kart, obviously, what are some of your other favorites on the Super Nintendo if you have them?
Right off the top of my head, like Top Gear is a better series.
We should probably cover some more of those then, because I'd be down for that. That'd be fun.
Mario Kart's a better series. Super Off-Road, Stunt Racing FX was not great, but still better than this. Rock and Roll Racing, Top Gear 2. Let's see what else is there in my mind. Micro Machines was on this.
And you didn't like Rock and Roll Racing as much. We've covered that one.
No, Rock and Roll Racing,
but still better than this.
Wasn't the greatest game, but we were still early in the podcast there. I might have been trying to be a little edgy, but
God, I love that game.
I also think I had a bad run on it as well. So
it's possible.
No, but yeah, there's a lot of other games you could try. Just games that came out later and they kind of figure some stuff out. I don't think there's any game besides Mario Kart that really does Mode 7 graphics.
Yeah, I don't think Mode 7 was. I mean, was that proprietary to?
Yes.
To Nintendo? Yeah, they must have developed it and only used it in their games. Because, yeah, you got Mario Kart and... Oh, no. Because, remember Illusion of Gaia when you're, walking around on the map?
Yeah, Mode 7 is Super Nintendo, but other people building for the Super Nintendo can make it.
Oh, that's true. Okay.
Final Fantasy VI used Mode 7. NHL Stanley Cup, Pilot Wings.
Yeah. So
what other...
It's around. Not on other racing games, though?
Let me look at a list here.
Yeah, we don't have to belabor the point. We should cover more. I like racing games.
Yeah,
I'd play
that's right. Chrono Trigger used Mode 7 graphics. That's what to make the effect when you're going through the portals.
Oh yeah.
We should cover that game someday.
So
well,
one day.
Again. No.
We've established that Brian can't think of a single other racing game on the Super Nintendo that's better than this one. I may not have been listening to the last couple of minutes of podcast. Something caught my eye over in the corner of the room. But I think we're going to call that an episode. What say you, gents?
Yeah, that's good enough.
Yeah.
All right. Well, who wants to let everybody know where they can find, not necessarily Retrotopia because they know where they found that, but where can they find everything else?
All right, I got this. Hold on. warm up. All right, if you want to find us and you want to show us some support, you can do so wherever you get your podcasts. You can give us a 5-star rate and leave a comment and tell us what we did great or what we could do better. We always love hearing from you. If you want a little more direct access to us, you can find us at social media at linktree/Retrotopia. That's linktr.ee/Retrotopia. Or you can find our Instagram, our Twitter, our Blue Sky. Link to our Discord, where we have a nice little community going, as well as a link to our Dashery store, where you can buy some merchandise, which has been, think shop or workshop by all of us and designed by myself. So head on over there and get some nice stuff. If you want to get a little more intimate with us, and you can do so, or you can head over to patreon.com/Retrotopia, where you can join for the low price of $0. And there you get an extra show called Quick Play, where one of us will review a game that we deem too short or unable to do for the regular episode, or a member of our hero tier has asked us to do, as is one of their perks. You can also get the other show, what's it called? Retro Bites. Holy crap, I'm going too fast. Retro Bites, which comes out 15 days early very often, but we're going through a revamp right now. Plus, comes with an extra topic on Patreon. As well, you can join the Hero tier where you get all that and you get a couple things more, including After Dark, which is our little warm-up show we do before we do every weekly episode. And we want to thank you, the listeners, for listening.
Oh, so
well,
smooth.
you're doing that every week now.
Yeah. That was smooth Canadian whiskey.
All right, but one of you has to sign us off the show.
That's true. We do. And these are always the hardest thing to think up. Sam, have you got anything?
No. I hope no one crashes into you with a hovercraft on your way to work tomorrow morning. How about that?
That'll do.
Have a safe drive to work and don't get crashed into by a hovercraft.